What a beautiful day, no matter where you are. Maybe it's your Sunday. Maybe it's your Monday. Regardless of the day, time, we're in the cycle of LIONSGATE. If you don't know what LIONSGATE is, it's a special portal that opens, as there are many portals. But LIONSGATE this year is extremely powerful. And in my part of the world, it is August 7th. And we're coming into the peak opening of the LIONSGATE portal that will open in the next 12 hours. So if you're feeling your energy or your emotions, or whether it's physical, mental, or spiritual, agitated, in question, maybe something's brewing on the inside of you that it's been there for a very, very long time. You've been chasing all sorts of philosophies, following all sorts of different opinions. But have you been following your own opinion? Have you been following your own heart? Your heart, as I've said many times, is not just something mechanical made up of bits of flesh on the inside of you. It's the key holder to your emotional understandings in many ways. It has truth. It has the ability to see. It even has its own thought process outside of your mind fudgery, the gray mass that's up here. Your heart frequency, this vibration that within you is a key. We call it an emotional key. It's part of the understanding of the process of the ascension, not dimensions, but the understanding of the process of ascending into a higher state of consciousness, a deeper understanding of spirituality. But it's also key to understanding the power of love. Wow. Love is not what we've been taught. It's not what we've been shown in many ways. It's within us. Your heart understands the truth of love. Your mind's filled with the mind fudgery, though, and it spins and tries to think, well, love is owning, love is manipulating, love is possession, but yet it's not. The truth of love within you, within the voice of your heart, is an emotional key to understanding ascension, to understanding compassion, to understanding the truth of unconditional love. Unconditional love is not some wishy-washy, new age philosophy. It's been with us and been part of who we are ever since the birth of humanity. We were created in the essence of love, love of life, all life, regardless if it's human or not. And some of the most ancestral wisdoms before Babylon, before the monetary system and taxation system became part of what we think is the norm, all we did was exchange. We exchanged wisdom, experiences, understandings. We listened to the children as much as we listened to the elders. The child had as much of a right to the voice as did the elder that held wisdom based upon experience of life. Life is not complicated. It's not what we tend to believe and blame and say, my life is miserable and it's complicated and it's filled with hardships. That's your choices of engagement. It's also what we as humans, as the only species, created. We lost sight of the power of the heart when we figured out that, wow, money, ownership, taxation, believing that we owned the earth, and yet we don't. We don't own this planet as much as we don't own the stars, the sun, and the winds, and the waters. The only thing we truly own is self. No matter what you have around you, no matter what material, no matter how much you have, you don't own it. You've only borrowed it. You've worked to exchange, to borrow something that at the end of your last breath, it doesn't go with you. The only thing that goes with you is your heart, your spirit, your soul. Whatever philosophy you want to believe in, do you think that that's the ending once you've taken your last breath? Maybe you do. But history has shown us a great deal of things. Many of the awakened child or children of today have come in with knowledge. We question. We say, where did you learn this? How come you understand this at this age? You see things. You feel things. A child. Yet we've all gone through this. Every one of us, no matter what age, no matter what color, no matter what creed, no matter what language or walk of life. The most important key to understanding part of life, not all of life, but part of life, is the key of heart. Your heart is not something that's weak and wishy-washy. Your heart is not that gets broken. The phrases of, I'm heartbroken, my heart is heavy. It's not your heart that's heavy or broken, it's your mind. The mind fudgery that you're holding on to from your yesterdays. Why? Why are you holding on to what you cannot change? Why are you blaming others for your choices, your terms of engagement? You wake in the morning, you take a breath as if you've been breathing as well as while you're sleeping. But do you acknowledge and see yourself at that breath at the beginning of your day? Are you able to look at yourself in the mirror and truly see yourself? Acknowledge yourself and see how worthy you are, see how beautiful you are, to see how loving you are to self? Or are you focused only on what you need to change because you believe you need to change your physical to step out into the world? The birds could care less what you're wearing. The forests, from the animals, the mammals, the aves, from the flora to the fauna, it doesn't see your shell, but it does feel your vibration. It does know your frequency. We are connected to all vibrations. We are connected to all energy. From within you is pure energy. This balance or imbalance of the masculine and the feminine energy, the duality of what's within you. Many of us are off on one or the other. Many of us as men are afraid to face our vulnerability, our sensitivity, not because of the way that we're born, but because of the way that we've been programmed and how society has programmed all to look at us as men. We've been programmed to run away from our vulnerability, our sensitivities, our emotions. And in today's era, the rise of the goddess, the true goddess, is searching for emotional engagement, not physical engagement, not monetary engagement, but emotional engagement. This emotional engagement is a key. It's a key to interacting with life. It's a key to being able to see the prosperity of life. Life is quite simple. Believe me, it is. When you understand that life is living in frequent evolution, L-I-F-E, living in frequent evolution. That means acknowledgement of the present moment, acknowledgement that every breath that you take is the beginning of a new story, and every exhale is letting go of the old story, the old narrative. See? And sometimes technology just when I guess it decided to drop off. I wonder why. Good catch. I guess we didn't hit the floor, did we? This life. One of the greatest things that my grandfather taught me was that 3 principles in life are the most important. To have good thought, to have good intention, and to do good deeds. 3 key principles. Good thought, good actions, good deeds, without wanting something in return. He said to me, if you have expectations in your life, the only expectation you should have is the expectation to better yourself, to always try to do it better, rather than have expectations on others. Because one of the key elements of emotional engagement is understanding that love is not ownership, it's not possession. You can't buy it, you can't manipulate it. Love is letting others voluntarily evolve. L-O-V-E. That means that if I offer to you the 3 words, I love you, I'm offering you a gift of heart, willingness. I willingly offer you the gift of heart. It's your gift. I offered it freely. I'm not waiting for you to say, I love you in return as an automation. I only want you to live that moment with the thought that I've offered you freedom of love. I don't need anything in return. I will see it. I will see it by your actions. I will see it by the choice of the words. I'll even see it by your thought. Your thoughts produce vibrations and frequencies, even if you're not saying anything. Your vibrational field around you is expansive when it's in positivity, when it's understanding self-worth and self-love and self-respect, this vibratory field around you is unlimited. It's protective. It knows how to protect you because you know who you are. Do you? Can you step into the mirror and look at yourself in the eyes? And I mean, look at yourself in the depth of the eyes and say, I love you to self. Can you say, I know you, I hear you, I see you to self? Or are you waiting for others to acknowledge it in you? You might wait a long time, because what they see in you is their perspective, their view, not yours. What do you see in yourself? Do you see how powerful you are? Do you see that you can be anything you desire to be? You can be a poet, a musician, a magician. You can be anything you want when you believe in yourself, not when you believe in what others are telling you, but you believe in self. Self-empowerment begins at the very, 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 very beginning of your day, when you can look at yourself in the eyes and say, I see you. Did you have a good rest? Speaking to yourself. And some might hear you in the washroom going, who are you speaking to? I'm speaking to myself. I'm acknowledging who I am. I'm acknowledging my power, my worth, respect, and most of all, love of self. To have love of another is complementary. It doesn't make who I am. It's complementary along the way in my path of life. Even if it comes from an animal, a mammal, an ave, or the flora. When I step out into my water garden and I see my koi, and they come to me because they're excited to see me, it's because they acknowledge my kindness. They acknowledge my caringness of their environment, of their life, freely. They don't sit in a limited space and try to grow into something that's too small for them. This purpose of life is to understand that all life, human or not, has the same right to breath, to presence as you and I. We are not the only species on this planet. Even if it is 7.5 billion humans, there's billions of other species. Insects, animals, mammals, aves, the flora, the fauna. From within the waterways to the sand that you walk on when you put your toes in the edge of that beach, to the rocks, to the mountains, to the forests. Billions of species, not just us humans. We are the only species amongst all that reside on this planet that struggles with life, because we try to control it and manipulate it or become lazy. We believe in the system is looking after us. We believe in politics and religions and gurus and practitioners that are trying to say this is how you should live life. Yet you have the answer right within you. It's as old as humanity itself. We were created in the image of the Creator. We were created to be good stewards, caretakers, We were created to be free, to explore, to see the world, to see the beauty that's right before us, above us, and below us. Do you truly see the beauty in life? Do you allow your heart to see truthfully, or is your mind filled with the mind fudgery, disconnecting you from heart, holding on to your yesterdays, trying to heal ancestral traumas and whatever happened in your past? But you can't change it. You can learn from it. The heart is already forgiven. It's the mind that's saying, I can't forgive. It's the mind that says, my heart is broken. And yet, if it was broken, you wouldn't be standing in the physical sense of the power of the heart. You could cut your head off, and the heart will still beat until it says enough, because it has its own thought. It sees 5 seconds before your eyes see the physical imprint of what you're visualizing. The heart has already seen. The heart knows truth, knows the difference between right and wrong. It knows the core essence of love, love of self. When you step into your love of self, you step into self-worth, self-empowerment, and yes, even your vulnerability. Your vulnerability is not a weakness. Your vulnerability is a superpower. It allows you to feel, to see, to sense life. It allows you to connect and be emotional and have emotions, even if you see just a flock of birds, or a fish in a stream, or a beautiful flower before you that you didn't see before. Life, it's not just us humans. We don't own life. We're part of it. We're meant to evolve with it. We're meant to teach the children the difference between right and wrong. Not hand them some smart device and let them go off on the wayside and try to figure it out on their own. I was fortunate to grow up in an era where this technology didn't exist. I was fortunate to grow up in a family that didn't have abundance of wealth. They had abundance of love. We would sit at the table. We would listen to each other. We would laugh, sometimes cry. Sometimes we were scolded because we did something that we shouldn't have done. But we sat at the table and we acknowledged each other. We shared space together over a meal. Maybe the radio was playing music in the background. There was no television as a child, as I was growing. It came later on, black and white. Today's world has millions of colors and you're addicted to it. You're addicted to the technology, your telephones, your TVs. You're addicted to becoming lazy, to not understanding that it takes effort to integrate with life. It takes acknowledgement of life. It takes the ability to open your eyes wide, see above, see below, and see from within. It takes 3 factors to acknowledge the abundance of life. To ascend into the ascension and the understanding of it is not to run down the rabbit holes. It's not to run down all the negative that's happening in the world. It's to find inner peace, inner love, and inner worth. To allow yourself to step into the truth of compassion and kindness, generosity. Not generosity of what you have in your pocketbook. Generosity to be able to see somebody through the eyes of kindness, regardless of age, color, creed, or walk of life. It's to acknowledge all humans, all hearts, and how can we together, in a unified understanding, create a better world. We need to open up our eyes. Truly, truly, truly open our eyes to see, to understand that we have a purpose to constantly improve, to constantly create a better version of ourselves, to understand that the footprint we leave behind is a path for another to see, to acknowledge, to remember. It's a path that allows children to see difference between right and wrong, because we have assumed our errors as much as we have assumed our milestones. Self-acknowledgement, not needing acknowledgement of another. The acknowledgement of another is complementary to your path. But the truth of acknowledgement is how you see yourself, how you speak, how you interact, how you engage. You choose your engagements. You own those engagements, no matter the outcome. No matter the outcome, it was your choice. When you see from within. But if you allow others to focus, say, this is the way that you should live, this is the way that you should earn, this is the way that you should own, then you're halfways there until you fully understand that it's your choice as a sovereign human being to be the best version of who you wish to become each and every day. You wake with self, and when you sleep at night, you sleep with self, even if somebody is sharing the space with you. Does it have an artistic sense? It's creativity, not lack. Love is also the power of creativity, to be creative with love. Gesture of a touch, a word, a look, something that you create with passion, and you allow others to see. It can be a garden space, it can be painting, it can be poetry, it can be anything that you wish it to be, because you've allowed passion, which is part of love, to be free, to be passionate with life, because life is free. It's not something that's owned. As I said, the only thing that we own is self, our actions, our interactions, our physical body as much as our spiritual body. And as LIONSGATE is here and it's opened, you may be feeling this need to understand more. Maybe your emotions are rising. Maybe it's time to let go and step into the truth of the LIONSGATE portal. It's to find the lion and the lioness within you. To understand that a pride is all people's. We are all part of a pride. Not a bunch of independent prides, one pride. We are all leaders. There is not just one leader. Each and every one of us has the power of leadership. Each and every one of us has the power of creativity. And each and every one of us have the sovereign right to be just you and I. As an individual, in my uniqueness and in my imperfect perfections, because we're all perfectly imperfect. But we can create a better version each and every try. Is it not something to be able to understand that creation was part of why we were created? We were created in the essence of love. We were created to be free, sovereign individuals. We were created to be kind, protective, yes. We were created to be caretakers and curators and storytellers, to carry on wisdoms, to ensure that these wisdoms of the yesterdays are still part of the teachings of today. We were created to show how to be good humans. This is why we were created. No matter what star system you've come from, no matter what your origins are, this planet, Gaia, Pachamama, Mother Earth, the youngest of the mother planets in the solar systems, in the universe, whether it's the inner versus the multiverses or the other dimensions, the youngest mother that has the most power, billions and billions of species, some originating here, some originating from other star systems, chosen to be here on this planet. Have you ever questioned why? Do you think you were just created to be part of a system, a monetary system, to attain wealth and possessions? That isn't why you were created. You were created in the essence to become a creator. Creativity, the ability to be creative with your words, your touch, your feelings, all of your sensations, senses, the ability to listen, to see, to smell, to touch, to feel. You were created in the image of creation. Life. From the very, very, very spark, the very, very, very birth, those two elements that came together, you resided inside of a womb of life, a great mother, a goddess in her own right, the ability to carry you in safety for 9 months. You didn't have to worry about being fed. You didn't have to worry about being hot or cold. You didn't even have to worry about going to the washroom. You were in a safe haven within an earthly vessel of a goddess, almost identical to this earth herself. This earth is a living goddess, a womb of all life. Look at what she provides: water, air, vegetation, flora, fauna, and beauty. A womb. A very, 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 very special mother. And as women of this earth that walk upon this earth, yes, you too are goddesses. but not on top of a pedestal. I acknowledge you as a goddess because you, as a woman, have the ability to carry life and to allow it to birth a womb of life, a true magical feat, something that no man is able to do. We are the protectors. We are the caretakers of your path. This is the intent of the sacred masculine. A man that understands he is powerful, but yet caring and sensitive as well. A man that is able to emotionally engage with the calling of the goddess, that requires that emotional engagement to walk on this path of life. Whether it's male or female, no one is superior or inferior. But together, it's magic. Together we rise, together we change, together we evolve, together we ensure the continuation of life. It takes both of us, regardless of whatever element you want to believe in. We were created with two elements, the masculine and the feminine of life. And you also have within each and every one of you the energy of the masculine and the feminine. Strength, sensitivity, firmness, caring. We were not created to be judgmental. We were not created to be aggressors. And we definitely weren't created to harm others, regardless if they're human or not. We all life, have the same right to existence and the continuation of life. My heart is just as powerful as your heart. It's just as powerful as the heart of a tree, of a flower, of an Eve, an animal, a mammal. Even a crystal has a pulse, just like this does. This is not just fancy lights. It empowers Tesla technology, crystals, vibration. Its frequency today is set at 888. Frequency of the music that is playing in the background is at 963, 639, and 396. Key musical, sacred musical tones that many of us don't have a full understanding of. Frequencies, vibrations. Everything has vibration. Everything has frequency. Even when you butter your toast, it produces a frequency. You emitted vibration. The interaction of you with making that piece of toast and buttering it produced vibrations. Did you rush it? Or did you acknowledge it? If you rushed it, you missed the magic. Watch as a child plays in a sandbox. They are in the very presence of life. They're not thinking about tomorrow, and they're not thinking about yesterday. They're in the joy of the moment of where they are, getting dirty, sometimes having a mouthful of sand, acknowledging others as they play in the sandbox. But we as adults, we have a tendency to impose judgment and discriminations and teach our children that it's wrong to play with another. No, that's where we wrong our children. Our children are free. Just like you and I we were born to be free. We were born to understand the power of the heart. We were born to learn and to grow in the power of love. When you take the two words, life and love, and understand that life is living in frequent evolution, and love is letting others voluntarily evolve. When you put the two of them together in one phrase, it's living in frequent evolution while letting others voluntarily evolve. Human or not, all life. The grass is below me, to the trees before me, to the children playing off to the side, to the elders walking before me. We all have a purpose. LIONSGATE is your time. LIONSGATE is to set your intent for abundance, not wealth of what you put in your pocket, but the abundance to step into the creation and creativity of being a better version of yourself, to attract positiveness, to be optimist, to be caring, to step into your true power and roar like a lioness and a lion. Now's the time. Your choice. Nobody can force you to be anything or do anything that is against your own free will. But do you empower yourself? Do you truly see yourself? Step away from all that is negative. If you don't, you feed it. Just as much as you can feed the negative, you can also feed the positive. The more that you feed positivity in your life, the more that you will step into a higher understanding and a higher consciousness of you and your purpose. You're not just here to cook meals. And we're not here to destroy. We're here to ensure and engage life. Are you? Are you living in the freedom of evolution? Or are you following the stigmas and the dogmas, all of that of the yesterdays? Are you focusing on trying to heal things that cannot be changed? But you can see the wisdom. You can truly see the wisdom in what you've learned, what you've engaged with, whether it was hurtful or not. Never forget that it's not the heart that breaks, it's our minds. We allow our minds to overpower the voice of the heart. Yet you have the memory from the very, very, very birth of your existence. Not after the 9 months, but from ground zero. You began to learn ancestral knowledges that were passed on through the DNA, integrate with you. Wisdoms of yesterdays, knowings, understandings. Even if you don't have the word at the very first breath of life, your heart has knowledge. Now it's our turn to really step into this, to return to the understanding of why we're here. Are you ready to step into a higher version of yourself? Are you ready to step into that mirror and look at yourself and see how worthy you are, how magical you are, how beautiful you are, intelligent, creative, passionate. All you have to do is open your eyes and see yourself. Not what others have told, not what others see in you, what you see in you. And now, become a better version of self each and every day, little by little. It's not going to change overnight, but it will change little by little each and every day that you acknowledge yourself. Last Sunday, I initiated a challenge. I'm going to initiate that same challenge for the minimum of 7 days, a minimum, 2 times a day. When you wake and when you go to rest, look in the mirror, open your eyes, look deep, and issue 3 words to self. I love you. 7 days, 3 words, 3 seconds of your time. But truly open your eyes and see yourself. Don't stop at your imperfections. Or are they actually imperfections? Maybe they're just who you are. And as you mature, becomes part of even more of who you are. Wisdom gathered. Wisdom there to share. And wisdom to still learn more. Every day, every second. If you have to count it by second, it's 1,440 seconds in a period of 24 hours. Do it by the second if you need to. But don't stop seeing your self-worth. Thank you for joining me here at Clarity's Eye Pyramid Healing Sanctuary, an Earth starship, a pulsated EMF frequency or electromagnetic field generator. It's generating a vibratory field right now. It has been since the very beginning, just like the music has. So now it's your turn to step into your power. LIONSGATE, Sunday or Monday, no matter where you are, it's time for you to rise. Not just as an individual, but an acknowledgement of others. Because we need each other, regardless of color, creed, language, walk of life, regardless of your gender or your belief, regardless if you're human or not. We need each other. It's time to rise up. Are you ready? I am. I'll see you next Sunday from Clarity Sacred Earth Healing Sanctuary. If you don't know where Clarity is, we're located in Edmonton, Alberta on 8118 Gateway Boulevard. Not just a tea house. Beautiful, magical people here. Readers, practitioners, and yes, beautiful tea and technology that helps you heal body, mind, and even spirit. So I'll see you next Sunday, same place, same time, noontime, Mountain Standard Time. Be here for part of the magic. Step into your magic. Peace, good tidings, joy, and most of all, love. See you soon. Namaste.